right now, and I want to thank you again. Okay, one second.
And
I'm just
thank
waiting on
you.
notification.
And I love your pictures in the background.
Oh, thank you very much. These are some of my favorite music albums. Okay,
Oh
all
my.
right. And
Yes.
Sister Gloria, boom.
Yes, sir.
And we are live. I want to thank everyone for tuning in to a very special edition of Off the Record with on the People's Podcast. We have an amazing guest with us, one who has watched myself, my siblings, and many of the young people all over the Chicago area who've gone to many places now grow up, and you've been such a great example for so many of us, Sister Gloria. I want to say Assalamu alaikum.
Well, alaikum salam. And thank you for that thought. And thank you, Allah.
Yes, ma'am. Wonderful. Sister Gloria, how did you get into education?
Uh, for my part, I say by accident.
Yes.
that was that was something that my mother wanted me to do, but I told her that there were too many of us being teachers, and that I wanted to do something else. But
Mm,
amazingly, when I graduated from college, that was the first job that I got.
mm,
my,
mm,
my college mate told me to go to the school. I had never met his grandmother. He said, go and tell them that she told you to come, told me her name, all of this. I decided they were so desperate that, and I've never heard of such. I went, I followed his instructions. They actually took me, this was in Philadelphia.
yes,
They
ma'am.
took me to the Board of Education, waited for me to sign whatever papers. And the next week or the week after that, I was a substitute teacher.
Mm,
That was amazing. That was my first experience. That was,
praise
they were the eighth graders. But over time, I ended up in Chicago and still dealing with children, only this time I was in the Hispanic community, but they dealt with people from all walks. And I worked with special needs preschoolers,
Mm, mm,
some that weren't quite preschool age.
yes,
And
ma'am.
I guess that really uh, got the love going in terms of teaching and being with children.
Praise be to Allah. And Sister Gloria, how did you get to MUI?
Well, I was I was talking to Sister Shelby one day, and she asked if I would like to come. She said they needed some teachers. So after talking with my husband, he said, "Well, if I wanted to come, because one thing that really got me, the children that I worked with were it was a variety. It was basically, like I said, Hispanic community. Although I worked with and I worked with some of them and us, but the fact that we had our own school was what really got me going.
Yes,
Our
ma'am.
own school. They of course they didn't want me to leave, but I explained to them that we had our school, so of course they understood, and that's how I got there from Sister Shelby's invitation. And of
Praise.
course, the minister approved, so that as the expression goes, that was the icing on the cake.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Right.
And what was it like to work so close with the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan? You know, from an education standpoint.
Oh, that was wonderful, most inspiring, encouraging. Although I got a few shocks because I think at least twice it was in the classroom, and I was at the board. I don't know what I was writing. I just happened to turn. The minister was in the doorway.
Mm,
Some of the brothers behind him, whatever I was talking about, he nodded and he smiled and he kept going. But just the fact I heard not a sound, I just happened to, I guess, uh, my body felt something, and I just happened to turn my head slightly. But oh my. So, of course, that was something. Another time, I think he actually came in the room. I don't know what we were doing again, but he gave the greeting, and of course, the children responded. and
Yes,
they were
ma'am.
happy to see him. So that was just, oh my. Because needless to say, I had some of his grandchildren in my class too, somewhere along the line.
Praise be to Allah. And my sister Naima says Sister Gloria is her first pre-K teacher. Sister Camila says Sister
Oh,
Gloria was her first teacher as well. Um, Sister Gloria, how are your what has been your greatest joy about teaching?
I guess seeing the children so excited about coming to school.
Yes, ma'am.
The children were excited, and the things that they learned, oh my goodness. Someone came in one day and they were having Arabic. And I've forgotten who made the remark. They couldn't believe that they were having the Arabic class. But the brother said they were some of his best students. But I think children are excited about learning. Oh my, because we did math, the alphabets, they learned their names because I put the names, everyone had a place to sit at the table. So I put their names on a sentence strip at their seat, a name behind on their chair, and a name in their cubby or slash locker.
Yes,
So
ma'am.
they could see their name. I put it on the board so they actually learn to recognize their name and other children's names. We did the numbers, and thank Allah for Mother Tynetta. I was talking to her one day, and I told her that we were working on the alphabet. Was it the alphabets or the numbers, whichever? She said, "Well, had you thought of putting them together?" And of course, I hadn't. So, I mean, that was so they learned it was A 1, B two. So
Yes,
they were
ma'am.
learning the sounds, the numbers. It was a combination, but it was like a one step.
Yes, ma'am.
So the things that they learn now, I think what we were doing in preschool, I think they're doing in kindergarten and first grade. These
Mm.
were 2 to 4 year olds.
Praise
They
be
were
to
doing this. I know, and I have to tell this because I was so, I wish I'd had a camera to take a picture. I gave Sister Cherie's daughter papers to pass out. And of course, she didn't say anything. She looked at me. I guess it's like, wait, this child is what, 3? Maybe I don't. At the oldest, I think she was 3. I gave her papers. She acted, and I just had the names on the top. She passed out the papers, put the papers in front of everyone's face. She got 2 wrong, and that was because the first 3 letters of their name was the same. And I told her, I know if I had told you she could do this, you wouldn't believe it. And she laughed. She said, no, but she actually saw her daughter do this. So learning to me is unlimited, especially if you start early and they're excited about learning. Oh, oh. And I'm sure now is really something with the modern technology and the fact that most are not physically in school.
Yes, ma'am.
There's a lot. But I thank Allah for that. And I know you didn't know, but it was to the point my children started calling, as I can say, you people, the
Yes, ma'am.
preschoolers, my other children. They realize how I felt about all of you. So that's what they started calling you.
Yes, ma'am.
So off and on, I might see something I buy for the class, and it got to the point that they get excited. Someone say, "Oh, wait, is that for us, or is that for your other children?" So that was an experience, but obviously I loved it, and I still have pictures. Oh my, a wall in the gym of pictures.
Praise be to Allah. And speaking of your other children, or your children, and referring to the other children, what advice would you give to future mothers?
I would say to listen to the children and do your best to be the example of what you want to see. And if you find that they have a particular interest, like for example, my the grandson, Elijah, loves cars. So, I mean, he loves them to the point. he could name all the cars going down the street. By is that a Ford? Is that a Chevrolet? What is that? And he said, oh yeah, well that's. I said, well, I thought you said the other was. He said yes, but that's the old one. The one that was behind that was the new one. And then he would tell me why the one behind it was the same brand, but why it was new, the new features. So, oh my, that is a joy. Yes.
Praise be to Allah. And what advice would you give to future educators and teachers?
To be patient. That would be one of the things. Patience. I say patience, love, caring, and sharing. You love the children. Don't say it. Be the example of what you want to see. And if someone's feelings, you make a mistake and you didn't intend to do it, apologize. That's a child. But what's the best way for them to learn? Be the example of what you want to see. So I'm not perfect, as the minister told us once. No one fell out of heaven.
Yes,
so that means there are times when we should apologize. So we're not beyond apologizing if we make a mistake, and we will unintentionally, I would say, for the most part.
Excellent. Well, my sister Miriam says, Assalamu alaikum, family. Sister Camila says, thank you for raising us all. Sister Mimi says, love you, Sister Gloria. But
I love you, and I thank Allah for the opportunity to be there with all of you.
Yes, ma'am. Well, Sister Gloria, can you please tell everybody, publicly, Marvin says he loves her. What's up, Marvin? Marvin said he loves you, Sister Gloria. He's one of your students. But Sister Gloria, can you please let's put it into it, because there's all of the students who went to Muhammad University. So many people claim to be your favorite student, but can you please let everybody know that Joshua was your favorite student so we can put it into this? Because let's put it into it all right now. Let's let them know who your favorite student really was.
Well, no, that was one thing that still gets me to not only to hear people say, but to see, I guess, really to see people make a difference in children, make a difference of who will be at the front of the line, who will be at the end, who will have the opportunity to do what, and who you just like push to the side. No. Give everyone an opportunity to do something. And even to the point of, what do you like to do? What do you want to do? Because I remember one day I actually cut triangles, circles, and squares, because we were talking about the shapes.
Yes, ma'am.
So I made, I think, like 3 different sizes and different colors. And I actually have a picture of that too.
Yes,
I told everyone, I said, make something. If you make a truck, the brother beside you could make a truck, but his truck couldn't be the same size, color, or anything like yours. But just the fact that he wanted to make one as well. So to give them an opportunity to express their interest, their ability, their talents, and then who will share, who will help. Oh, well, wait, you put the wheel on the back and it should have been on the side, or you had it by the door, as opposed to making an unfavorable remark to you. I could say, oh, I'll help you, or you could put it over there. That way you're helping, but you're not being insulting or belittling anyone. Well, I think those things, yes.
Excellent. And Sister Gloria, what do you do for fun?
Excuse me?
What do you do for fun?
Oh, my. Well, what do I do for fun? Spend time with the grandchildren, other children. Even one day I got on the bus. This little girl, don't ask me why. She came up to me. She had a school paper and started showing it to me, and asked me if I would help if I read it. And I hadn't thought about it at the time. What was her mother or whoever thinking that she walked up to a stranger? Yes, but I said, evidently there was, I don't know what, something that made her think she could do that.
Yes, ma'am.
Come to a stranger that wouldn't say, get away from me or any of those negative things.
Yes, ma'am.
So I try to keep in mind that, well, I love to talk to the children, see the plants, the flowers, go for walks, um, watch different movies and educational programs. And I think it's off right now, but Channel 7, and what really got me that they were talking about Black people and the
Mm,
progress and different things we had done
mm.
in our room. And then Channel 11 also had a program dealing with us and things that I know they haven't been teaching in schools other than ours. Of course, we tell things, but the public schools hadn't
Yes, ma'am.
been talking about our input, the things we have done, the things we are doing. So that warms my heart to
Wonderful.
see that, yes, the children now are making products. They're having classes, courses. I think was she 7 or 11? Since the pandemic, excuse me, a girl has written a book.
Mm, mm.
Our girls has written a book, but to see different things that they're now doing, that warms my heart. Really does.
Wonderful. Now, Sister Gloria, what type of music do you listen to? Do you have like a favorite album or a favorite song of all time that you like to listen to?
No, I like combinations. And
Okay, of who?
I still like it, as mine would say, the end of day jazz, I think,
Okay,
more. But yes.
End of the Day Jazz. Sister Gloria, you have so many students who have positive stories about you, but what do you want your legacy to be?
Oh my. um, I guess it would amount to the fact that I love children, and it's not who has what, the brightest, the all that, none of that. Just the fact that your child, like I said, I love children, especially the younger ones that have so many varied interests these days. But in general, the fact that I love children and I want to be helpful and uh, be a positive example. I guess that would be the real thing, the positive example, and to be the what's that? Actions speak louder than words.
Yes,
As
ma'am.
opposed to saying something, what am I doing besides the talk? Am I putting in any of that into action?
Praise be to Allah. Well, Sister Gloria, I have one more question for you. Thank you all for the comments. People saying give you greetings, give you encouragement, and just continue to send love to you. How has your what about your faith has kept you going for so long? Like, how have you kept this faith?
Well, I guess that would amount to, I would say, in essence, to be the example of what I want to see and the examples that have uh, been set before me, who said and did what in the past, but who is saying and doing what now. And I guess the greatest, I would have to say, is the minister. Oh, he just, oh my. uh, yes, that would be because it's like, what, he is so giving, so loving, so all of those things that people talk about. It's like, who says or does what? What's the expression? Water off the duck's back. You've made negative remarks.
Yes, ma'am.
He hears them and he doesn't. And if he can help you, although you've said whatever you said that you shouldn't have said or done, if you need his help, then he wants to help you. So to me, that loving kindness, yes,
Praise be to Allah. But
that's
thank you all for everybody sending love. And thank you, Sister Gloria, for taking time out of your busy schedule to come on the People's Podcast. This means so much to us. We just wanted to show you love, and we wanted to hear from you yourself to let you know that so many of your students love you and are inspired by you.
well, thank you, and I thank Allah for that, and I thank Allah for your program.
Praise be to
So
Allah.
I say, keep up the good work.
Thank you. And please give your family and all your children and grandchildren the greetings.
I will do that and do the same to my other children that I haven't seen and don't know where they are right now.
Yes, ma'am, I will. Assalamu alaikum, ma'am.
Walaikum salam and thank you again.
Thank you, ma'am.